Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, Syracuse students organize a massive die-in protest on the promenade.
Once again, NSA worker has taken confidential documents.
And where, oh where is Hurricane Matthew going to go? The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV Live at 6. I'm Brittany Muller.
And I'm Nick Papantonis. The Chinese government has responded to a local murder in the town of DeWitt. That's tonight's top story. The Chinese government is expressing concerns over the death of a Syracuse junior. Officials from the consulate in New York City say they have been assured by the police that the case is a top priority. China has called on the university to assist family members of the student who traveled to the U.S. Chinese officials have also asked that police ensure the safety and rights of their students aren't jeopardized.
If you are walking on the promenade this afternoon, you may have seen hundreds of students laying in the walkway. The demonstration brought attention to those killed by law enforcement using unnecessary force. Participants laid on the promenade from Shine Student Center to Bird Library for 10 minutes, representing the 10 cases out of 102 that involved an officer being charged for killing an unarmed man of color. Many students held signs that had the name and age of someone who was killed by police or the reason why they were killed. Organizers say the visual protest was done to have more impact.
Someone, or several someones, opened fire with a BB gun 3 times last month. Now the Department of Public Safety is saying that's 3 times too many, especially since it was the same people doing the shooting. DPS says several men were driving either a dark-colored sedan or SUV. The incidents happened on Madison Street, Euclid Avenue, and Ostrom Avenue. If you have any information regarding the incidents or identity of the suspects, call DPS.
SU has received a letter from the Department of Education concerning Title IX. The letter is a response to a complaint from a former student. It alleges that the university did not handle a sexual assault report correctly. This had led to the review of the university's Title IX complaint procedures and reporting methods. According to that letter, there will be a forum to review the processes later on in the semester. The Panhellenic Council is hosting the first ever Red Zone Awareness Week at Syracuse University to combat sexual assault here on campus.
The Red Zone is a period of time when a college-age woman is most vulnerable to sexual assault. That's during the beginning of their freshman year.
Citrus TV reporter Claudia Belfato has more on the story.
The first 6 weeks of school, it's a time for excitement, readjustment, and new beginnings for most students. But what many students don't know, that first 6 weeks is also the time period where more than 50% of sexual assaults occur. The Panhellenic Council is taking on the challenge of spreading the word through a nationwide movement known as the Red Zone.
Interestingly enough, the Red Zone is well known, but not many campuses do an awareness campaign. They just sort of say, this is the Red Zone period, so it's sort of just left untouched. So we're sort of one of the very first campuses to take on this initiative, which is pretty cool. Do you want to take a picture?
This is the first time Syracuse is taking part in the movement, and fraternities and sororities on Greek Roll are taking on a major role.
Very relevant topic, especially among college campuses. So I feel that it's very important that I'm there as a liaison for my fraternity.
And if you're still looking for ways to participate in Red Zone Awareness, there will be a quad display today, and tomorrow a balloon release at 6:45 at the Hall of Languages. Claudia Belfato, Citrus TV News.
Coming up, did the NSA lose control of more classified information?
And the East Coast is preparing for the arrival of Hurricane Matthew. We'll be right back.
For the first week of October, temperatures have been wonderfully warm. Today, Syracuse students saw clear skies and temperatures in the mid-70s. Find out if this beautiful weather is here to stay in my full weather forecast coming up.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Well, this is a new headline. Authorities say they found many top secret documents and files in a former NSA contractor's car and house.
The Justice Department says Harold Thomas Martin was arrested in August for allegedly stealing top secret information from the NSA.
The former Navy lieutenant initially denied the accusation, but later admitted to taking the documents.
The Maryland man had top secret security clearance, and his lawyers believe that he had no intention to betray his country.
He's a good man, and that's all I can really tell you, okay? I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would respect my privacy and respect my family's privacy, and that's all I'm going to say.
Last night was the only vice presidential debate of the 2016 election season. Indiana Governor Mike Pence and Virginia Senator Tim Kaine constantly attacked the other's running mate and their policies. Neither candidate made major errors during the matchup, but polls mostly had Pence as the winner. Pence was back on the campaign trail today, and Kaine's fellow Virginians went on camera to support him.
Donald Trump won the debate. Donald Trump's vision to make America great again won the debate.
I thought Tim Kaine did exceptional, laid out the plan that he and Hillary are going to do for this country, and I thought he put Governor Pence on the defensive right from the start.
17 people are under arrest today after a sex trafficking bust between Thailand and the United States. According to Homeland Security, the ring brought hundreds of women to the U.S. who were forced to work as prostitutes.
The women were smuggled into the U.S. using fake visas. They were forced to work in order to repay tens of thousands of dollars in debt. The ring was busted in Minneapolis yesterday.
Three people are dead and 3 more are missing after South Korea was slammed by a typhoon.
The excessive winds and rain also flooded the country's most important port. The typhoon is making its way towards Japan, but it's expected to weaken by the time it hits that country and will likely be a mere tropical storm.
Three university professors have won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their work on molecular machines. These machines can lead to developments in new materials, sensors, and energy storage systems. The 3 Nobel Prize winners received $931,000 from the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences.
Well, good things come in threes. 3 babies were born early Tuesday morning on the Coast Guard ship Datalio. Two boys and a girl were born to migrant mothers who had left Eritrea, located on the Horn of Africa. They said they had been rescued off the coast of Libya on Monday and were headed for the island of Sicily. All babies reportedly had a smooth birth and are healthy.
2 police officers have been stabbed in the Belgian city of Brussels today.
Officials say the stabbing has been ruled a terrorist attack and comes months after the bombing in the city killed 32 people in March.
The officers are not in life-threatening condition, and the city remains on high alert for terrorist activity tonight. The east coast of the United States is gearing up for Hurricane Matthew, which is expected to make landfall in South Florida tomorrow night. The Category 3 storm wreaked havoc in Haiti and Cuba earlier this week. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley ordered the evacuation of the state's coast today. Gas stations and stores in Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina are also seeing long lines as citizens prepare for the storm. President Obama spoke out about Matthew at the FEMA headquarters today.
If you get an evacuation order, just remember that you can always rebuild, you can always repair property, you cannot restore a life if it is lost, and we want to make sure that we minimize any possible loss of life or risk to people in these areas.
Well, while the southeastern United States prepared for the hurricane, we saw some really gorgeous sunshine today.
It was beautiful today.
I know.
When are we going to get that cooler weather though, Lindsay?
Well, you're right, Nick. Today we saw beautiful weather, temperatures in the low to mid 70s, bright sunshine, mild wind, and it was just a really nice fall day. Felt still a little bit like September, but it is the first week of October. Now, as we look at current temperatures across the region, you can see that most temperatures are in the high 60s and 70s as you get a little bit more west of New York. But for the most part, they're pretty consistent with us along the region. Now, as we take a look at the local radar map, this is where it gets really exciting. No precipitation on the horizon for us, but as we get closer down south, we are going to start hearing those stories from Hurricane Matthew. That hurricane is 100% coming, and it is going to start, right now it's predicted to be a Category 2 or 3 when it makes landfall, as the eye of the storm will still be off to the coast and will be particularly around a Category 4. People are in those lower states, Georgia, Florida, are advised to listen to their local warnings, evacuate if that is what is your protocol, but please be careful down there. It is going to be very treacherous. Now, as we look at tonight's forecast back in Syracuse, temperatures are going to drop to around low 50s, 51 degrees. Again, no rain for us. Humidity will be pretty moderate at around 55%, which sounds high, but is actually pretty temperate for Syracuse. Now, as we look at Thursday's forecast, the high tomorrow will be 76 degrees, so another beautiful sunny day. 10% chance of rain. Humidity will be pretty much on par with today at around 59%, so pretty nice, and the winds will be very mild, around 0 to 3 miles per hour winds. Now, as we look at the daily planner, we can see that when we wake up tomorrow, temperatures will be in the high 50s at around 57 degrees. By noon, it'll be 69 degrees and sunny. And even by 6 p.m., temperatures will still be on the rise at around 71 degrees. Again, tomorrow night, temperatures are going to drop, but for the most part, it's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. Now, as we look at temperatures for the next 7 days, we can see that for the most part, we're going to be going in the high 70s for the end of this week, but unfortunately for Saturday, it is going to drop to low 60s. And even Sunday, we're going to see high 50s, which is pretty typical for October, even though we've been feeling such gorgeous 70-degree temperatures. And then early next week, temperatures will be back on the rise, and hopefully by late next week, temperatures will be back in the high 60s, low 70s. Now, as we look at 5-day forecast just a little closer, Thursday's temperature, again, going to be gorgeous, 76 degrees. At night, it's going to drop quite a bit, and it's going to be around 50 degrees. Friday is going to be 77. Again, another gorgeous sunny day, only a 10% chance of rain. Now, as we look closer to Saturday, you can see that temperatures are going to be around 63 degrees, and there's going to be about a 60% chance of rain, but it's probably going to be more PM thunderstorms. Sunday, temperatures are still going to be pretty low at around 59 degrees. No precipitation, though, so it's to be more of a fall day with a little breeze. And then Monday, temperatures will go back up, and again, no rain in the forecast.
So taking a look at that Saturday rain, the hurricane is coming up the eastern coast, but is that rain related to that hurricane, or is it going too far east?
Unfortunately, we're still a little too far north for that hurricane to have an effect on us. We might start seeing some residual winds as the storm makes its way up the coast, but not probably that quickly. And Unfortunately, that rain has nothing to do with on that unfortunate hurricane.
All right, thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
My favorite Disney princess is returning to theaters.
Which one is that, Nick?
And I'll tell you after the break.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
In the past year, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported a spike in a polio-like illness infecting children across the U.S. Acute flaccid myelitis affects the body's nervous system and can lead to paralysis. The exact cause of the illness is unknown, and there is no vaccine. The CDC suggests everyone take general prevention measures for protection.
The FDA is issuing a warning for hepatitis C patients. If you have Hep C and you're taking a drug to treat it, and you also have hepatitis B, you could be in danger of a flare-up. The FDA wants to make sure that patients are screened for both diseases before being given any medication. They're also requiring a warning on the box or bottle to make sure users know the risks.
Good news for Amazon Prime members. Today, Amazon announced it will offer more than 1,008 books to its Prime members through the new feature Prime Reading. Users can access these books through the Kindle app. The Hobbit and Harry Potter series are among some of the available books. Prime members cost $99, and it includes a free 2-day shipping membership. Amazon shares hit an all-time high this week.
One of the most famous delis in the United States is closing its doors. Carnegie Deli in Midtown Manhattan will officially shut down on December 31st. It says the owner says the long hours have taken the toll, and she does not want to sell the deli when she retires this year. The deli first opened in 1937. It's been 20 years since Disney introduced us to Mulan, and now we're getting a second date. Yesterday, Disney announced the release date for a live-action version of Mulan, and according to Hollywood Reporter, the search has begun for a lead actress who will actually be Chinese. The movie is scheduled for November of 2018.
Coming up in sports, the Syracuse football team needs to figure out how to get back into the win column. The Syracuse men's soccer team looks to corral the Great Danes. And October baseball continues tonight in Queens. Citrus TV News live at 6. We'll be right back.
You can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm Christian Guzman. After a 50-33 loss to Notre Dame at MetLife Stadium, Syracuse football is looking for a way to rebound quickly. The 2-3 Orange travel down to Winston-Salem to play the 4-1 Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And the players know they need to bake the cake quickly to prevent the Orange from eating the batter.
I mean, I see us, we got a lot of improvement, but I see us progressing. It's, I was talking to Coach, it's like crazy. I mean, I'm unhappy about the way things have been going, but, we still been putting up good stats. We just got to get the points on the board. That's the most important thing. But, I mean, I just see the progression. Everyone's getting better and better each week, so looking forward to what's to come.
It's going to come together fine. We're not pointing fingers at no side of the ball, offense, defense. We're coming together. Each side can get better at what they're doing, include special teams. So there's no pointing fingers. It's just coming together and bonding as a unit.
I would definitely say motivated. I know, especially the DBs, I know they got together today and kind of talked about, just want to do better or whatever. And I think it's just everybody just trying to be accountable to themselves and accountable to the defense and just taking it upon themselves to just do better.
And game time for that game is at 7 p.m. Moving to the pitch, the SU men's soccer teams needed to regroup quickly on Tuesday night. The third-ranked Orange traveled to New York's capital to play UAlbany. Syracuse would need to get the win without star defender Miles Robinson, who had been called up to the USA Under-20 national soccer team. He is currently in England until October 11th. Meanwhile, the SU squad was still looking for its first win since September 20th. So let's go to the highlights now, with Syracuse and Albany getting underway at Casey Stadium in Albany. Wouldn't start well for the Orange, though. Leo Melgore there with the goal in only the 3rd minute of play, and Albany would go up 1-0. SU would have his chances, though. Giannis Peels with the cross. Sergio Camargo with the shot. It's saved by Lucas Valio there in the 32nd minute. SU loves corner kicks, and here from Liam Callahan. Louis Cross header off the crossbar. Kamal Miller's shot is saved, but Miller puts the rebound back in. It's 1-1 tied in the 38th minute. But Albany would come roaring back in the second half. Here, Musa Kanat would get a shot off, and it's saved by Hendrik Hilpert, one of his 2 saves on the day. However, he would need to make another one here. Keith Trout with the cross into the box, and it finds Jonathan Iteriano for the goal. It's 2-1 Albany, and that's how the game would end. I was down in Albany at Casey Stadium for more on SU's loss. Syracuse suffered a shocking loss to Albany on Tuesday, losing by a score of 2-1 to the Great Danes. It's only the 2nd loss of the year for the Orange, and SU could not win the midfield battles when it mattered.
Actually, after they scored, we played some better stuff. We started creating some. I think we had that kind of 10, 15, 20-minute period first half when we looked good, we looked dynamic, and we created some chances. We scored. The goalie pulled off a couple of good saves. But overall, I think we've got to be better with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we were sloppy the whole game. Credit to them. They wanted it. They were all over us. What we could have done more was play it out wide, get it away from that midfield, because they had a big midfield, and played around them instead of try to play through them.
SU did have 12 shots on Tuesday, but Albany goalkeeper Lucas Valio made 6 key saves to secure the Great Dane upset. Reporting from Casey Stadium in Albany, Christian Guzman, CitrusTV. And finally, we move to postseason baseball since it has arrived, and Queens plays host to an elimination game tonight. The Mets welcome the Giants to Citi Field in a National League wild card game. New York sends their ace Noah Syndergaard to the mound. The superstar pitcher went 14-9 on the season with a 2.60 ERA. The Giants counter with their ace Madison Bumgarner. Mad Bum finished the 2016 campaign with a 15-9 record and a 2.74 ERA. Bumgarner also enjoys pitching at Citi Field. He is 4-0 with a 0.62 ERA in 4 career starts in Queens. The road to the World Series does not get any easier for the winner of tonight's game. Whoever is victorious travels to the Windy City on Friday to play the World Series favorites in the Chicago Cubs. First pitch at Citi Field tonight is scheduled for 8 p.m.
So the Wake Forest game is coming up. How is the SU team going to do this weekend?
Well, they're only going to do as well as Eric Dungy and his duo of receivers, Amba Adetawa or Phillips, allows them to do. They look really shaky after the first couple possessions against Notre Dame. If they can step it up, they can get a win. I don't see it, though. I think Wake Forest is going to take this win.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this quick message.
Big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text Barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, Lindsay, what is the weather looking like tomorrow morning when we walk out the door?
Well, tomorrow when we first wake up, it's going to be a little chilly, but by midday, it's going to be around 69 degrees. It's going to be gorgeous, sunny, mild winds, very similar to what we saw today. So it should be a beautiful day tomorrow.
Good to hear.
And Thursday night, we have, some people like to start the weekend around here. So what's their forecast looking like?
Well, tomorrow night, temperatures will probably be still pretty warm. I would even say low 60s as you get closer to like 9, 10 p.m. It will start dropping down into high 50s. But again, it should be clear skies. So just a light jacket and you should be good to go.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
The oldest man alive is celebrating his bar mitzvah. Yisrael Crystal turned 113 this past September. He was supposed to have his Jewish coming of age ceremony in 1916. That's when he turned 13 years old. The celebration was canceled because of World War I.
A century later, his family worked together to organize Crystal's bar mitzvah at his home. His daughter says he sat quietly through most of the celebration, surrounded by his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
Crystal lost his 2 children and his first wife in the Holocaust and World War II. He survived his own trip to Auschwitz, before he and his second wife moved to Israel. I wish I could live to 113, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh, well, you know what? We're just going to have to follow and live a healthy life and see where it takes us, because it's possible. I mean, this guy is clearly living to 113, so it's possible.
Oh, well. Well, that's all we have for Citrus TV News Live at 6. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News and like us on Facebook. I'm Nick Papantonis.
And I'm Brittany Muller. Have a great night, Syracuse.